The other day I thought I had a fetish for Victorian porn. Is that bad?
Victorian porn,
like ankles and wrists.
No.
And gams?
No, not like what they used to see when they were in the Victorian. I'd like to see Marie Antoinette being sodomized by a gay lord.
Do they have those on the internet?
They have this one that was done in the 70s, and I keep going back to it. I think my fetish is for that one.
Well, is it are you fascinated with bloomers?
Yeah,
I like girls with
bloomers
wigs.
are pretty sexy.
Or like I said, it
Bloomers.
does
Bloomers.
a bare ankle get you hard?
No. It's not the ankle. You can see her boobs and you can see everything, and you see the
She's
guy
actually-
having sex with her.
she's
If
actually
anything, they're
naked?
tighter because they have those
Oh,
corsets.
true.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
just
you got a
and they're just,
corset.
push.
She's
That's
got
the ultimate push-up bra.
She looks like she talks like this. It's kind of gross. No, I'm not kidding.
Well, here's the question.
She's
though.
wearing a white
Cockney
wig.
whore.
The question is,
yeah,
it's
it's
like, are you getting off?
cockney
Like,
cunt.
are these pictures or are these drawn animations like that, 1400s
You still
Japanese
keep thinking
porn?
that I'm talking about this actual time period.
Oh.
I'm
You're
talking
talking
about a porn that was done
in the
that was
70s.
replicating
Victorian style.
them in Victorian clothing.
So it's like
hanging
Downton
out.
Abbey with balls and cocks and
peaches.
Yeah, exactly.
And peaches, yeah.
The other day, I jerked off to that, and then afterwards, the second time I jerked off to faketaxi.com. I don't know if you guys have ever.
What is
Taxi?
fake? Is that like a
Fake
Bang
taxi
Bros?
Is that
British-
guy that has the blurred face and he pays people and he's just like, hey, do you want to come and suck my
No,
dick?
it's not that's public pickup.
Well, no, not that guy. But he's
No, the names
he's
of
but
all
he's
these sites.
but he's British. He's British, right?
He's a British guy,
And half
he's
the
like,
and he's
oh,
like,
I love you. Think you could go down on me for £100? And she's like, I don't know, babe. I don't know. He's like, well, your wallet's gone because I stole it.
well, the thing is, and then isn't halfway through it, he
You're
shows
kind of
him.
muddling through that accent. I can hear
Yeah, I know.
You're like, oh, is it?
I know. I wasn't even trying to do the accent.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't. He also he shows him the camera, right? He's like, oh, look at that. You see
Yeah,
that little thing right
He
there?
shows these.
You see that?
He shows these United Kingdom cunts to that the cameras, and then they're like, oh, okay, I feel better now. Fuck me, and then they just have sex. That's how it goes.
Man.
So I jerked off to it, but the thing is, and I actually once had a conversation with Tim about this, is you don't realize how ridiculous what you're jerking off to is until it's over.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Because once you finish,
You're like,
and
what's
even if it's still going on, I've heard the reverberations of the sounds of the it's like this is so.
I've gotten
stupid.
to a point where I've been so good that right as I'm about to climax, I just Alt F4 the window, close it out, and then I just finish my load, and I'm done. And there's
How
no.
can you
But
hold that
nothing-
semen in your
and
penis
nothing-
for that long? For that long?
That's strange. Where you see Microsoft
Yeah,
Word
haven't-
comes
well,
up.
haven't
It's
you-
like-
haven't you? Why do you
he's
think-
towering down?
Why do you think my desktop looks like it does?
Yeah,
There it is.
that suitcase.
You have to remind the viewers or listeners or whatever what that desktop entails.
Well, Miranda Kerr, probably the best Victoria's Secret model to ever grace the pages of Victoria's Secret, recently did.
People got mad at me when I didn't know who Heidi Klum was. They were like, "She's the Victoria's Secret model." It's like I don't keep up on that. Why would I keep up on that?
Because you're a guy and you have a cock and balls, and you like to masturbate to Victoria's Secret's semi-annual bra sale, like we all
Victoria's
did.
Secret isn't hardcore porn. There's a difference. I need
Victorian
my
porn.
sexuality.
You need Victoria's
I
Secret
need-
magazines.
Yeah,
Well, hold
I
on.
need Victorian secrets.
Hold on, you need that now because of the internet. When you don't have the internet, you're snagging your mom's Victoria's Secret and you're rubbing one off. Because
No,
you're
when
using
you're
your
12
phone.
years old,
You're
baby.
using I've used my phone before.
Well, see, again, that's
Is that weird?
post
Like this-
2007.
like the stuff that you've
I'm
sexted with a
talking
girl.
about.
No, not sexting with a girl, porn.
I'm talking
On my
about
phone.
1999.
That's weird.
Nobody's
Oh, okay. No,
looking
that's
at porn on their phone in
He
1999.
comes says the guy that had jerked off to watching gorilla a gorilla fuck.
But-
a girl.
but even
I
that-
once watched a gorilla.
Oh,
fuck a
George
girl.
of the Cunthole.
But even that, you're not really looking on porn. I mean, you know, you have this big ass fucking computer in your thing, and to get the porn to work, and it's slow, and it's a big, you got to do it in the room because you can't take it with, you know. So fuck that.
Get that fucking hourglass.
Yeah, exactly. You're like halfway
the pinwheel didn't even fucking exist.
Yeah, right. You know, your parents are coming up the driveway. The porn isn't done.
Talking about jerking
because
off.
I'm talking about when everybody started to jerk off to Victoria's Secret semi-annual collection magazine.
But you didn't grow up. You just kept jerking off to the same Victoria's
No,
Secret
I grew
catalog.
up. I stopped. I moved on to the hardcore donkey dog porn that everybody moves on to.
Oh my god! Did I tell you I actually saw a dog fuck a girl?
It's gross.
And come in her vagina.
It's so weird.
It was the most disgusting thing.
You ever see horses?
Yeah.
Now I understand why God said, you know, no bestiality.
Yeah,
like I'm all down for that.
That really is. That's a sin.
I'm
that
all
should be a commandment.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
like-
care what anybody says. That's you're
That's
going. Just
really
go to hell.
gross.
Just
Because
go to hell.
The dog is just like it's humping, it's moving its body. It doesn't know what it's doing. So they're like, okay, like they'll like take its body and just like shift it closer to the girls. You can see the dog. He's like looking around. He's like,
Where's the other dog? Where's the other dog?
What's going on? Oh my god! This feels so.
It's the weirdest.
It's like if someone
gross.
just took you were really horny, and was guiding your cock, wait, and it was just going into a monkey's ass. Like,
that actually
like,
wouldn't be too bad. I would say horse.
So like so Michael Jackson, basically.
The bleach monkey.
Boom, toasted.
Yeah. Its fur was the consistency of that sugar. The lead singer from Sugar Ray. His hair, the frosted tips.
So I.
So you're jerking off to Victoria's Secret.
I'm finishing, you know, so that way so that I don't have to, you know, watch and soberly realize the disgustingness of my perversions. So it's a nice, so she had just done a photo shoot for the new GQ model. Or for the new GQ magazine in the UK, and of course she is.
United Kingdom. I don't know if you've heard of Face Taxi.
She's basically Beryl completely naked, and it's actually been kind of funny because since she divorced Orlando Bloom, she has been doing more and more and more. You know,
good things
ever happened to him.
Naked, you know, semi-naked nipple kind of shots. Also because she's no longer a Victoria's Secret angel. You know, that contract's up, but she still comes back and does like the secret shows and stuff. So,
what do you think about Kate Upton though? I feel like you.
No.
Let me.
My brother likes Kate Upton.
I'm gonna say you think she's
Kate
so
Upton?
overrated, and because you like this girl so much.
So
more.
Kate Upton, her boobs.
Did I know who this is?
You probably do.
like her face.
Yeah,
I will give Kate Upton
Is this
her
another
face.
Victoria's Secret model?
She is a Sports Illustrated.
She's she's an SI model. Different class of woman.
Yeah,
You couldn't just easily say Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. Kate
she
Upton.
was the one that did like the Arctic shoot.
Yeah.
You know, like
No, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Okay, well, Kate Upton.
I've heard of it.
The problem that I have with Kate Upton, you know, while I comb my neck beard and tip my fedora, is that her
neck
big
is definitely
big boobs, right? You know, that's always good. She has large breasts. Her face, she has a really nice face. Her eyes, but the shape of her body is so fucking weird. Like her hips are big, but they're not. But then her legs are small, but like they're big.
See, now you're just being critical.
Well, of course, she's a model.
Did you see that one shoot that she did when it was like they were in an airplane and they fucking like, I think they were going just like so fast that there was like this like a couple seconds of weightlessness.
Oh,
and during that
her
weightlessness,
boobs were just.
Well, no, they would take picture like she was modeling while she was like floating in air.
I don't know.
I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty cool to jerk off to because I'm like, 0 G's. You know. Like,
we'll see. And I was watching.
Off to stuff.
I wasn't jerking off to that. I just thought it sounded better.
Like 15-year-old kids.
Well, Miranda
used to jerk off to because now they jerk off to the same kind of porn that I did.
But it's like listening to records, you know.
Well,
there's
true.
a sense
hold on.
I've always thought
Miranda
there was
Kerr.
a level of douchebaggery that was with people who were like, oh, it sounds better on vinyl. It's like, no, it doesn't.
No, well, it actually does.
What is that? Because you get a few more crackles in when you're listening.
Well, no,
to
because
the
it's
record?
like it's
pure
uncompressed.
sound. It's
It's
uncompressed.
not. There's no like
There's
digital.
there's no digital compression.
I don't know. I don't.
This
give
guy.
a shit.
I
I just hate people because when they say it like that, they're like, oh,
Well, hold on. Before
Well, no, some
before
people
we go,
are like. I feel like they.
But I also do
yeah,
think there's a difference between Victoria's Secret models and watching a gorilla just,
Well, of
like,
course,
ruin
but
it.
on the same when the video was of Kate Upton doing the 0G shoot.
Yeah.
Miranda Kerr had her Victoria's Secret she had a shoot with a famous photographer, but it was a topless shoot, and so it was like a video. It just sucked that I was watching it at work and getting aroused at work, and then had to walk to a meeting, which was kind of awkward. In high school when you get a boner, you're always like you put your bag awkwardly in front of your crotch. Well, I had to have my laptop and files like in front of my crotch.
You stay
as I was
after
walking.
class, just be like,
Yeah,
oh,
so-
teacher, I need some.
So
help.
I had to
once
be
jerked off in school.
so
when
I had to
in
be
school.
I had to be
I
15
did.
I had to be 15 minutes late to that
We're
meeting.
gonna.
Well,
listen to that
I
later.
wanted to.
Yeah.
I had to be 15 minutes late to that meeting, and I didn't have an excuse.
Is that where the story ends? Did you really just
Well, I
silence
almost-
Jim
well, I almost-
in order to like, go like, okay, and then I got to the meeting. Crazy.
Well,
Insane,
I was
right?
going to come up with the punchline that I walked into the meeting and said, "Sorry, I'm late. I had to masturbate." But whatever, fuck it. Let's go to your high school
No.
thing.
Did you go in with that?
Of course not.
So that you're just saying how fucking hypothetical. You made me feel shitty for a second. 'Cause I
Fucking
thought you
A.
actually went in and was like, "Oh yeah, guys, sorry, I'm late. I just had to."
I mean,
masturbate."
it could be an explanation of why
Could
I
you-
was unemployed for those 3.
Could you have said that?
Actually, yeah.
You think you would?
At
have
my
made-
old job, yeah.
Yeah. Now you probably couldn't say that.
God, no.
Not this early in the game, like ever. You would never be able to.
No,
say it.
no, probably never. I have been working on contracts with people that I have just recently found out are vice presidents. I did not realize they were as high up as they are.
Well, that's good.
That's kind of like good.
Puts a lot of pressure on you, though.
Fucking
probably.
A.
Yeah.
Speaking
But
of
you're-
homework, I got to do a lot
But
of
you're
homework.
you're better under pressure than most, I believe.
Yeah, which sucks when I have no pressure because I'm the laziest motherfucker in the world because I have no reason to do
I'm
things.
terrible under pressure. I'm terrible without it. There has to be a weird middle ground between pressure and like nothing. Like a little
It's
bit.
tough. It's tough to get there though.
I can get through it if I really want to, but if I don't want to do it, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no, me too. Well,
I've never done anything that I've never wanted to do.
I've done things that I don't want to do, but if I want to do them, I'll do them a lot better.
Yeah. Even
Like
then,
raking-
though, I really don't do things I don't want to do.
Like raking leaves, I never want to do. But if I want to rake leaves, I'll do it. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I kind of feel that way about like my room. Like there are times where I just don't give a shit and I'll just let it go as chaotic as possible. But there are times when I put up one thing and that one thing turns into another thing that I'm putting up, and then pretty soon my whole room is clean.
Well, yeah.
But it just came out that way. If I told myself, okay, look, Rob, clean your room the next day, I'll never fucking do it.
No, of course not.
Because if I set a plan for cleaning my room, I'm never gonna fucking do
Well,
it. 'Cause I don't want to do it.
And that's how this apartment goes basically. I let myself fall into a decent amount of squalor, and then I'm like,
You can't fall into squalor though with this kind of setup though.
Well, like
unless you
I
start
do.
bringing your clothes into here and really using that ironing board back there.
Well, actually, I actually have been using. I do use the iron board. Although today,
but leaving your clothes there once you've ironed them,
Well,
you're like,
right.
fuck it, I'll just
Yeah.
this is a hanger too.
No.
You know?
Although for the first time in like a year, I actually dropped shirts off at the dry cleaner. I was very impressed. Although I'm gonna have to like race.
Fucking bigwig using a fucking dry cleaner.
I'm gonna have to race back to the train to pick up my like 12 dress shirts from the dry cleaners, because ironing isn't that bad. There are some shirts that I hate ironing because they get so fucking wrinkly. My thing is when I get the shirt dry cleaned, it stays cleaner for longer, which allows me to repeat wear the shirt without it being noticeably wrinkled. Yet when I iron it myself,
If there's not a punchline to this fucking story,
I was
I'm gonna
about to
fucking
say,
kill
like,
you.
I can't believe we're fucking talking about the dry cleaners. I'm sorry, man.
No. That was my fault. I let you go on too long because I knew when I had mentioned, I said the dry cleaners. He said he needed to pick up shirts. I was like, oh no, there's a thing behind this that's coming from. But to get
Well, it's, shit.
Yeah,
fucking real life. I'm sorry, I'm grown up.
No, but grown-up people don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, they
Grown-up
do.
people would have a fucking punchline to that shit.
Oh, no, they wouldn't.
No,
they wouldn't.
They would
Thank
not
you, Jim.
have a punchline.
But
Thank you, Jim.
But then they wouldn't talk about it. Then they wouldn't even talk about it.
No, you'd
They
be
would.
surprised.
They
at
would.
what some fucking people
Thank you.
talk about.
They
It's
would
so-
talk about it. They would talk about it
so
like it's
Have
the
you ever
biggest.
really talked to an adult
Well, hold on.
that
Yeah.
didn't view
Yes.
you as a kid?
Yeah.
The adult
The
would,
people at my internship literally they talk about their kids fucking 24/7.
which sucks, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, there's no punchline. It's just like, well, there's this one guy Kip who's like, he's a great guy, but he's just like, so I dropped off Simon the other day, and he goes like, you know what, I don't want to go, and I'm just like, well, you have to go, but I don't want to. Like that's the story. That's the story.
Exactly. And so adults,
it doesn't go to anywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone just has to listen to this fucking
Yeah.
stupid story.
That's-
It's not
every
even a story. That's just like a sentence of
exactly
what happened.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, and everyone
That's adult
listens
life.
to it.
Fact.
No, and you're sitting in the office, and you can't just be like, "That's a fucking dumbass story."
Yeah.
You have to
That-
be
they're
like,
awful.
you
Yeah.
have like this office etiquette where you have to be like,
yeah, you have to be polite.
great, yeah, no,
And it sucks because you talk about the dumbest shit. Now, granted, to toot my own horn, toot, when I have, a debate about anything, I like to get into it. I have rules. I have expectations.
And they're all shattered when you try to
That's,
get your dick wet.
Yes, honest to
You don't know
God,
those things.
and so I'll have these office conversations, and people will proffer their premise,
Yeah.
and then I'll begin to set my stages of evisceration.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is the fact that they do not like their entire world shattered in like all of 5 minutes.
Well, people don't generally like that.
No,
but
but they don't want to have to carry the burden of having an actual in-depth, real-life, mind-bending
you can
conversation.
give this
Yeah.
to the.
I give that
the
shit
public.
all the fucking time.
No, I do agree. You do have a lot of knowledge about a lot of different stuff.
I don't know. I just
I know. I really do think.
We'll
you
see.
do,
No,
but I'm-
we'll
but I'm
see.
saying
You know what?
it's
Hold on. It's not even that. I don't know obviously more than I know, and I'm always more curious to know more than I know, and so I
Well, that's because you're interested.
Well, of course.
In the things that
Yeah.
you're like,
So-
how does
so-
that work?
yeah.
A lot of other people are just like, oh, that works the way it works, and
that's all I need to know.
that's
See,
all
I
need
can't
to know
understand
about it.
that.
But that's why I like you, because you're interested in all
Well, yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is a point though where you get into that search of information where you can turn off someone who's listening to you tell something too. If
Well-
you go in way too long.
Yeah. Well,
You
and
know what
that's
I mean?
and that's
it
so.
depends also on the content of what you're talking about.
Well, of course, and right, and so I view every topic that I don't fully understand as a world-bending Socratic debate. I understand that not everybody wants to have a Socratic debate of the intricacies of human whatever the fuck. But I try to surround myself with people who are either a different viewpoint or know more than I do. So that way I can compare
What
and
would you view us as?
so that I can
Yeah.
Just
He's
graze
"You're
over
the other
that,
category."
graze over that. Let's not worry
He's
about that.
He's like, oh, there's A, B, C,
Yeah.
D, and other. You're other.
Well,
You're-
that way I
you
can
know.
compare and contrast what I know
CC's
or
didn't answer the question either.
my view of life with their view of life, and then I can then also proffer things, and then okay, well, Andrew, you're a fucking idiot because the guy who actually knows that you not I guess it's some type of respect, or you understand his position, that his position comes from a position of expertise,
Yeah.
and he says no, it's this way. That allows me to be better and smarter and yada yada yada, because all life is a learning lesson.
Yeah,
so,
but it's hard not to beat yourself up
so,
after that fucking
well,
shit.
no,
you know?
like fucking A. I mean, shit. Why do you think I drink and sleep alone?
Yeah.
But besides
You have no
that,
other choice.
so but the problem is I hate it when I find people that don't fit one of those other columns, and they're people that have no ambition. They don't care about life. They only care about their small little bit that they get, and they just try to keep their small little bit. They don't want more.
They don't want to expand their thought process.
They don't want to do anything.
Or anything.
They-
They're happy.
it
You see,
sucks.
I kind of admire
But they're not
that in
happy.
a way. Yeah. Well, no. Oh, okay.
They
I
think
like the
they're
guy.
happy.
Yeah, but that I think is happiness. Then.
Oh,
If they think they're happy, then they're either really stupid.
Yes,
and
it's always the prior.
So then
it's
that's
always
fine
the prior.
though.
Well,
but
see,
that's okay though. Then that person can be stupid and think that they're happy. Do you want them to be not happy or happy but not? I don't even know how.
Well, what that is.
Say. I'm that category. I'm so stupid. I have no idea what's even going on. But I almost admire the person that has their small little thing and is just content with it because they think that this is what life really is. Mm-hmm. But there's other people that belong. There are different types of people.
Well, see, but the only problem with that though is I feel like that kind of like. That creates like closed-mindedness.
Yeah, well, see,
where it's like, okay, yes, they're content and they have their own little thing.
So they block everything else
they block everything
because ignorance is bliss. And yes, it's it's nice to be where you are.
I don't like that
and not
saying.
knowing.
Ignorance is bliss. Like it's this.
You just described it though.
Amazing.
People are in their own.
I know what I described. I just don't like the way the words sound.
Well, right, but. Mm-hmm. You have people who are in their own little bubble, and this is what they want, and that's all that they want, and they've achieved what they expect themselves to achieve, and that's life, and it's mediocre, and it sucks.
I feel like I could have been one of these people if
I thought
didn't play my cards wrong.
I was. There was a period in time where I said, okay, you got this job, you have this woman, you have these friends, you have this,
and you were like kind of like okay,
and I was content.
I could just do this forever.
And then the giant.
It wasn't great, right?
It wasn't anything spectacular.
Was it even good?
Well, that's the thing. The giant dick of reality just butt fucked that out of the way and realized.
See, that's the worst part about life is when you're kind of struggling for something you're not even really giving a shit about, and it just keeps getting worse,
and it just. Collapses on itself.
Yeah, it collapses on itself. It's like, but I didn't even give a shit about
I know.
Be like, I didn't even care about that thing, but now I care.
But see,
because I got so far into it.
And then the problem with that is now you're left with like, well, that wasn't happiness. I thought that was happiness. Now what do I need to do to actually achieve this happiness? And then you have this like huge moment of self-reflection where you realize that you're destined for greatness, whether you are or not. But the pursuit of greatness, I think, would better everybody. And it just seems to me, it feels like you get one life. It feels like it's a waste if you don't try to be the best person you can be.
Yeah, but
or at least try to learn new things every day and try to just expand your mind.
Yeah, be a better person.
Yeah.
But I think there are people that don't think that we have one life. There's other people, obviously.
Oh, well.
I'm not getting into reincarnation or anything.
Well, they're
like
heathens.
Yeah, I believe that too. I do honestly hope that this is the only life we do. I can't do this again. Like, I fucked this up once. I'm not going to go again and fuck it up again.
But the only thing is, with reincarnation, how do you know this is your first life?
True. This could be like 7,000.
No, I know this is the 7,000 times, and like God's up there and like, dude, the guy's making the same fucking mistakes.
God,
how many times do I have to
let's
send
be
this
honest.
idiot down there?
Let's be honest. God is having bets with like Gabriel that you're gonna do the same shit that you're gonna do, and the odds are like 50-1. And God is just making out like a fucking bandit in Vegas.
Yeah, God is kind of actually an asshole.
He's kind of a
huge
dick.
fan of Jesus Christ. Like I love his earlier work. The ending was not what I wanted, but the ending was a little.
Can I say a little bit of Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Thank you. Always good to meet fans.
Yeah. Huge fan of your work. No, but God is like the parent of like the cool kid. Like, he's like this cool kid's coming down. He's like, oh guys, we should all love each other. I know my dad was kind of like a stickler back in like forever ago. And like was really not nice and he flooded.
Right. His name is Jesus. He's not Mr. God.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he wasn't God too.
Dude, God is my dad. I'm Jesus.
Yeah. That's the funniest thing. You would think that God would have, because God is such a like what kind of narcissistic person creates all of this shit? Is like, hey guys, you just gotta love me. That's all I need. I need your constant love. And
but that's such a little
But then
thing.
when it gets a little too crowded up there, he's like, oh, hey, you. And this guy's like, me? And he's like, yeah, okay, you're going to be my son down on this planet one of the planets I made.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Like,
Jesus
okay.
Jesus was always him. Jesus is.
That's what I never
I
understood.
don't
That's
like
just
that.
the Trinity is
Can't
such
they
a.
change that? Can't they rewrite
It's just
that?
a strange.
Well, see, the Trinity
Thing.
is beyond human conception, and that's how
Yeah,
they write it
yeah,
off.
yeah. But yeah, we
Is
still.
it-
But yeah,
is
we
that
still
what it
try
says?
to.
As like there's an asterisk that just says like. Oh,
That's the
beyond-
That's a
training.
little bit of a
beyond-
cop out.
Yeah.
Religion is kind of a
They wrote
cop-out.
themselves into a wall. They were like,
Yeah.
it's beyond comprehension. We don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know. We don't know.
And exactly, and that's like the training material. It's like they give priests. It's like, oh, training. When dealt with questions of the reality and physicality of God, use section 3A for your response. You section 3A. Well, it's beyond human comprehension. It's like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
They didn't. Are you really looking this up? Did you really find this? Like, you really told like.
It's like, wait a minute, how can Jesus be 100% man and 100% God? Well, it's beyond human comprehension.
Yeah, it's just all one big, it's in big block letters. Like when you were first starting to learn how to write, like these big.
It's just like the priests get a beat in their head. BHC.
Yeah,
Beyond
right,
human comprehension.
Yeah. busy.
That's what they're doing when they're smacking the boards in their face in Monty Python. Beyond human comprehension.
But the thing is, it's just like, it's a great book. Great.
It is the best-selling book of all humanity.
It's a long fucking book too.
It fucking
Yeah,
is.
that like,
And it has those really
and
thin
to just
papers.
come-
Yeah,
So-
and the thing is, but there's like 4 columns in each page.
Yeah, and not only that,
Who's gonna fucking
You see how
read
the
that?
print- how
They
small
fit-
that print is? It's like
they
newspaper
fit,
print.
They fit 4,000 pages in the space of a book that, like, normally printed is like 200.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty.
thin.
It's pretty insane.
Shit.
But
And imagine back in times
so
when they
he's
didn't have-
200% God human.
Yep.
He's Superman.
Beyond BHC.
Is he Superman or is he like? What is he? And by the way, I still want to get to the time where I
He's
jerked
like
off in high
Aquaman.
school.
Well, he's
I
not
feel like-
Superman because Superman's a douche. Superman is way too powerful.
Superman-
Fuck Superman.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna
fuck-
go on record.
You will.
Superman is a faggot.
All right. I know. I can accept that because you're gonna create a superhero, right?
Let's
No,
give
when-
him every power in the world.
But when he was created, though, I get.
But
when
the
he was
thing is,
created.
what about-
Because when he was
okay,
created?
here,
He was
you
created
finish
during
and then I'll go.
the Great Depression, or
Yeah.
gangsters or some shit.
Yeah.
And so it was like you needed like a guy who could do all this.
Yeah, but the world
Shit.
wasn't
No, no,
that
no, no,
bad.
But
Yeah,
the thing is,
well,
but I like the
we're
idea
fucking
of the
there,
fact
so-
that even a Superman, a person that has all these powers, still has trouble saving the world. Like even like in like just
No,
human.
I don't like that.
Well,
I mean,
fuck
it
you.
sounds. It's Jesus. It sounded nice. Joe, Jesus. I do believe that is the man in question here.
Can I say the capitalist side of me loves the rich orphan who just like is the boss?
It's
Batman.
Batman is one
I
of the
thought
greatest,
you were saying
greatest
Jesus,
backstories
which is true
of all time.
because Jesus
Was a poor
is,
carpenter.
is like a shitty rich kid.
No, he was a poor carpenter. He wasn't even actually good at carpentry.
How do we know that?
They said it in the Bible.
He
Did
was
you
like-
ever see him make a shelf?
They had another ass. They had another ass. He was like, Jesus couldn't put like these 2 pieces of wood and nail them together. There's an asterisk there. He flips through, and it just says, "Beyond Jesus' comprehension."
Well, no, I mean Joseph was the carpenter, and he was fucking great.
Yeah, he was
at
like,
it.
"Okay, man."
Do you think
so
he
you're
made the
son of God,
cross?
right?
Well, Joseph must have been good at carpentry because he was able to like support, Mary, him, and his 3 other fucking kids in this, God.
He wasn't able to support
bastard.
them. They were running around and hanging out in mangers. They were
Well, no,
dirty.
well they had
were dirty.
That was
Yeah.
different. That was different. They had to go back from the census, and he didn't have any property in Judea. But he was able to support 3 fucking kids and a wife and himself in their house in fucking Nazareth. He had to be doing something good. Betcha he probably wasn't union. Which-
Yeah. He was a freelancer.
That's a plus. But so like right, so so Jesus is born immaculately.
Yeah.
Mary's like, I didn't even feel him inside me.
Well, no, she goes to Joseph and she's like, "So Joseph, I have a story to tell you, I guess." And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And she's like, "Okay, I know we haven't fucked." And he's like, "Yeah, we need to talk to you about that. We really need to get on that." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, okay, so an angel." And he's like, "All right, what the fuck? What are you talking about? An angel? Okay." And she's like, "Well, an angel told me that God." And he's like, I don't know. Sure. And she's like, well, his son or him or half him and half his son
And half
or
lizard.
all 100%, 200% of God and weird human creature is gonna come out of my body without you just like penetrating me, and he's not supposed to believe that she was fucking around with some other guy.
Well, she wasn't, and it's funny because she was still a virgin. Yet Joseph had 3 sons from his previous marriage, because his previous wife died. And Mary.
It's a story of a man named Brady living with his wife.
And so Mary at
So
the
Alice is married?
Mary at the time, being a virgin, she's still a maiden. She's only 15, fucking jailbait. But
Do you think she was hot?
she has the kid, right? Jesus at age 5, he's teaching the Jewish priests how to be better Jews.
First of all, you're how old? You're 35. You're in your old age. Something like that.
Well, he
right?
died at 33.
You died.
We don't know what
33.
happened between his.
But I'm saying
years,
these
his 20s,
33-year-old
30s.
men that are these high priests and shit like that.
Right, you're 5
This
and you're telling them how to
5-year-old
praise God.
This 5-year-old comes into you, you're like, shut the fuck up and
Right?
let's do our
Right?
shit.
Not only that, he's in his late teens, in his
Why are you
early
bothering
teens.
people? Why are we listening to this shit?
In his early teens, he's doing miracles and telling them how to. Right? What does he not do? He doesn't know how to fucking build a lintel over a fucking door, right?
Like
Joseph's like, what the fuck?
that was one of the temptations of Christ that was left out of the Bible. When the devil was like, oh,
Spackle a roof.
Yeah. He's like, oh, fuck.
Or thatch a roof, right? There were thatch roofs.
I'll teach you how to thatch a roof. And he's like,
Jesus, your hobby horse looks retarded.
Is that a birdhouse or an abortion?
that was good. I think that was the first funny thing you've ever said.
Oh, fuck you, dick.
No. Jesus was a terrible carpenter. I had no idea that he was so bad at it.
Well, the thing is, if he was, he probably wouldn't. He probably would have made a better crucifix,
yeah.
so we could actually survive. He
probably-
would have built a support system,
Yeah.
so he could stand on it.
Put a seat on it. He would have put a seat on it. The fact that he's just like, dude, I could wipe this away in 2 seconds. But no, let's make it harder for everyone. And by the way, if he's all God, so then God went through that.
Yeah, because he's a part of God and he's.
See,
God.
I think God was like, oh no, he's all me, just to get out of just doing.
Well, see,
it.
the best part about the Trinity.
Because then who the hell is he praying to in the Garden of Gethsemane right before he gets?
He's
arrested?
just very selfish.
He's praying
He's
to.
egotistical.
Yeah, he's praying to
himself.
himself and God at the same time.
So he could have just, if there were mirrors around, he could have just been looking at a mirror and saying,
Yes and no. But see, the best part about the Trinity is we get to look down on the Unitarians who only believe in one God, and we're like, ha ha ha, you don't believe in the Trinity, you fucking homos. Which is weird because there's also the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Ghost is a whole nother fucking thing.
That was the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, same thing.
Oh, okay, no,
The
I was just making sure that the ghost and the spirit aren't.
The
I've
Holy-
always
Holy
been
Spirit-
confused by that.
Me fucking too. The Holy Spirit is the hardest thing to fucking describe. But I have one of the greatest ones that I ever heard is the Holy Spirit is the formation of God's love.
Yeah.
That's the Holy Spirit. And that's the part of God that's always with you and is always watching you. And that's the love of God. Because, God's a good God ever since the New Testament because
This
of
guy's
Jesus.
splitting himself up into sections.
Yes, but then also being whole at the same time. Because
But you can't do
the
that.
worst sin that you can ever do is the sin that Judas committed. And that's not accepting God's forgiveness. That's the worst sin that you can ever have. So Judas knew he did bad. He wanted to be forgiven. God said, hey, listen, nigga, shit happens. Judas said, no, I do not deserve your love. And that's the worst sin that you can ever do.
Just hang yourself outside of the town and
he eventually did that because of that. But that was him rejecting the Holy Ghost. And so that's where the Holy Ghost kind of comes in a weird way.
So he reject. Why would he do that?
Because he was so distraught and overwrought with sin, he was not able to see, and the devil was also talking to him. But that's the worst sin, is not accepting God's forgiveness, because God will forgive everybody, but if you don't accept His forgiveness, then
But he came a long way, though. It was a learn. He had to learn because
you can't be saved,
because he flooded the worlds, right?
Well, he did a lot of shit, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. What if I just send a guy down and just showed them?
I mean, I got a guy for that.
Exactly.
Hey, Zeus, get the hell out of here.
He's like,
I'll send my migrant worker down to help him out.
yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my son. I'm gonna get my son to help you out. Yeah. You know, like how a father is just like, oh, Bill, can you mow my lawn because you got a great mower? He's like, oh yeah, I'll get my son to do it.
Yeah.
He loves mowing.
Hey,
lawns.
Jesus, get out of here. I need my week with Marilyn over here.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah,
Jeez.
exactly. And it's just, God was a very evil, not evil. It's obviously it's an oxymoron, but God was a very angry. He was a very angry, violent God. He
Not a nice guy.
Well, the thing is,
Well, not to
I'm-
the Jews.
yeah.
Not to the Jews. The Christians are like, you send us your son, we are eternally grateful. And he's like, that's right. Some motherfuckers that appreciate me. And that's when he kind of got mad at the Jews and gave them the Holocaust. So
Oh, that's how that happened. Sorry, for years I've been trying
Yeah.
to figure out how that all.
I mean,
came
the thing
to.
is, I've always been interested, though, at the fact that why would God even say that Adam and Eve couldn't eat from the apple?
yeah, why why give them the curiosity?
Yeah, because the thing is that
why?
because
why
that's
be like
putting
putting a piece of cake
limitation.
in thing.
Yeah.
You can't have any of that.
Yeah, but that's
maybe,
putting
you know?
limitation on anything, and that's preventing free will, but in a sense, intriguing.
Well, they didn't have free will at
Themselves.
the time when they were in the garden because humans were just like the animals.
Well, yeah, but then why were
were
they even able
ignorant
to eat
and
the apple if
they
they
were-
didn't have
Oh.
free will?
Ignorance
Is bliss. That's where that comes from.
Yeah, but wait, why were they? If
an
they didn't
Adam
have
and Eve
free will, why were they able to eat out of the apple?
Well, because of Satan. Satan told them to eat the apple. It was the first temptation. Yeah.
So why did they so fucking kick the snake out? Why fucking kick the people out?
Because they could have told Satan no. That's
But then that's still
Satan's,
free will.
Yeah, that's Satan's biggest trick is you can always say no to Satan. You don't have to do what he says. And when you don't, that's when you commit
Well,
the
what
sin.
if he makes a really convincing argument?
Well, that's
Like,
the
then
point.
you kinda have to,
That's
like-
what he said.
Yeah, but what if you're stupid?
But what if you're doing heroin?
Because
No, but, like, what if you're
Satan-
doing? No, what if you're stupid and Satan's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And he's like, and you say, "Oh, are you God?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm God." How are you not? I always.
Well,
would,
see,
like,
that's
feel like
the
if-
thing, right? So Satan went to Eve, and he's like, Eve, listen, Adam's been looking at these other monkeys. If you want to keep Adam, you got to eat the fruit. You got to be that woman. You got to, step up. You got to put out. And she's like, fuck this. I want to keep this man. Got all twisted up.
So then, why do they punish her and him?
Because they still made the choice.
But they didn't.
But
know
then
what was
that's
going
that's
on.
free will.
They had
the
fucking idea
choice.
what was going on too.
Yeah.
Well, they disobeyed him. That was the thing.
They weren't supposed to eat from there. But how did they know that?
But the thing is, it's so weird because it sounds like they're mindless. So if someone says something, they're gonna do it. Like, hey man, those blueberries are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good. All right, man, those strawberries are pretty good. Oh yeah, they're pretty good. Don't eat those apples. Okay, I won't eat those apples. Hey man, eat those apples. All right, I'll eat those. So
Yeah,
it's like
if
literally
people
a
are telling you
mindless
what to
fucking
do,
being walking around. Why
you
would
have
they
no
get punished?
choice.
It's weird, and I know I'm asking you these questions, and nobody can answer these.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I like. Ugh.
I don't know. It's still good though. It's still good to ask.
I mean, the thing is, it's interesting. They're interesting stories. Like they're great, like moral stories. But I feel like people just fucking beat them to death, like way too much.
They blow them out of proportion.
Yeah, they blow them out of proportion, and
well, it's a good story. Oh no, I don't know it's a good story because I just
I know. It's
forgot
a good
it when I
story.
said it.
oh,
When
the
I
high
jerked-
school
yeah,
jerked
when I
off in
jerked-
high school.
When I
okay, we're
jerked
bringing
off-
it back to this.
Okay.
All right. Okay, yeah,
so,
yeah. So
when
God
I
and
was-
whatever, and Jesus,
Yeah,
and Holy
yeah,
Spirits, and ghosts,
Bibles
and,
and shit.
yeah.
Segues. Okay. I was in French class.
Jesus was actually aroused one day in temple.
Yeah, when I,
When he was 5 years old, I think he was molested, and that's where the tradition started.
Unto you I give my seed.
All right. So
High
you were in
school
French class.
Masturbation.
French class.
I was in French class, and there was this
A
girl
lot of
named Janice.
fucking.
that was more Asian, I think.
Well, no, it's French for dolphin. But
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Well, we fuck like them. There was this Asian girl named Janice, and I used to sit behind her. And we were watching a movie once, and I like leaned down, and my knee had touched her butt.
Oh,
Like,
that's the best.
Dangerous.
The thing is, it was dangerous. I was in dangerous territory. And I like go to pull away, and then she like leans back. I swear to God, she leans back and like touches my knee and brings it closer to indenting her butt.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh.
She likes the donkey fuck.
So then I just start like every day after school, or not after school, during this class, I would like take my hand and I would just like press my like knuckles against her butt. For like this weird, like a really weird. Sometimes she was kind of into it. Sometimes she wasn't into it. And then I'd be like, and I would pull.
Well, she was
depends on if her father beat her or not.
Yeah.
Well, she was probably
Or
into
she was
it like.
reminded by the punch in the ass that she got from my knuckles. That
Or-
I was
or, you know-
gently pressing against.
Yeah, well, she was probably into it like 3 weeks out of the month.
Exactly. And then once another movie came on. It was months later, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna stick like one of my fingers inside.
Holy
her
shit.
pants.
I'm gonna
That's
rape him.
fucking a pioneer.
Yeah,
The thing is, that didn't even cross my mind when I went to high school. I feel a little stupid.
No, you have to have a girl to do it with.
Yeah.
We play footsie.
Oh shit!
sometimes.
Yeah, I was just doing it to myself.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it's kind of step one.
and so I just
Get a girl.
I put my hands up. Like I have like 4 fingers that are going up, like her back where
She can feel it. She can feel it. It's not like you're just
which
like.
it probably inevitably got there in some form or another,
Right.
Whether through a baseball bat from her latest husband or
Her stepfather / brother.
yes, exactly, or just a sharp needle just indenting it with ink to just remind her that this is the place where her stepfather and or brother hit her.
Or when she took the wrong alleyway home.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, you're putting her hand.
I'm putting it
You're
in
raping
your
this woman in French class.
and I just like slowly go down, and as I'm going down, I just stick one finger and I go all the way.
Does she stop you at all?
Down. She moved a little bit, like she indented her.
Oh, she arched her back?
she
But the thing is,
arched
that's
her
a
back.
natural reaction.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, ass play.
Yeah, and I just leave it there. I don't move it. I don't wiggle it.
Just like a
I
kid
just
sucking
leave it.
his thumb,
And
just
then,
like-
Do you know how hard? Do you know how hard it is
Like,
to do this while a teacher is talking?
there.
And you're supposed to be listening to what that teacher is saying. Like I was just doing this.
Well, yeah, and you're
Like,
so
If
fixated.
anybody else around me had just said, "What the fuck is Rob doing?" Like, and I'm just like,
Well, Rob, that's how you became a legend.
yeah, I was just like sweating bullets with my pointer finger, like in some girl's ass, basically. And then I had texted her one day. And I was like, "Look, you're driving me wild. I literally said something like that. I was
Driving me wild,
You're driving
babe.
me nuts."
Well, like when did you was it DRIVIN apostrophe?
I never texted like you. That's
You mean
what I-
DKIVWN? You mean that? Oh no, that obviously means driving. Oh, I thought it meant like.
Duh. Jeez, God.
So I texted her. I was like, look, lady, you're driving me nuts. What's up, Rob? How are you, man?
How you doing?
You're driving me out of my mind. I kind of just was like, fuck it. I was at that point. I was in I was a freshman in high school. I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna just say whatever I want. I was like, you're giving me a really red hot boner.
Like, wait, hold on.
I didn't know that boners
Hold
were
on.
not red
Yeah,
hot.
hold on.
yeah.
You actually said red hot boner,
Yeah, I remember specifically because I was chewing Big Red at the time.
and you thought this was sexy to say to a woman.
Well, I was thinking of cinnamon.
That's not.
Yeah,
no.
it wasn't a thing, but
Like vaginas can be red hot.
That's gross, though, man.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying
that's
they
equal
can
to the
be.
devil's dick.
But a
hot.
red hot penis, I feel like you should talk to your doctor about that.
I probably should have because now it's purple. the red hot has turned purple now.
Good thing it's not charred.
Yeah.
It's like black.
No,
You just
I would
touch his,
rather
like-
a big, massive, veiny cock than just like this. I have Grimace's cock between my legs at this point.
So
it's
not
like pear shaped.
not only is it purple, but it's also mentally retarded.
Yeah, exactly. It can't. Every single time I try to put it into a hole, it makes a right.
Well, you know,
It makes
five.
a right into her inner thigh.
You know, 5 minutes to Wapner.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you send her the text message. Does she respond?
Raging
what'd she say?
red boner.
Well, no, I was really happy she said that. She goes, "Who's this?"
Well, see, that's the text message you always hate because I just
I didn't mention anything about the putting in the hand.
Well,
on the
yeah.
pants. I
but
mentioned it.
I know that you have built yourself up to just get the cocksman courage to actually text this fucking woman,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right,
I'm
this
a
is
fucking
good.
freshman faggot.
Right, exactly.
Like, I don't
And-
fucking belong.
and
like,
Wait, what was she? A junior, sophomore, freshman?
texting. No, she was a freshman like me.
Right,
So
right,
I
but
think
not
it kind
even-
of leveled the playing field. in
Right,
that-
but
in
not
that
even.
regard.
You probably have gone through like, okay, well, what should I send? Well, let me send this. Like, you probably like opened like word processor and was like
Yeah.
typing out like 30 different things to you. You're like, oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna let that sit for 2 days. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna look at it. Is it still funny? Yes, it is. Okay, now let's crowdsource this. Mom, brother, sister. Is this a funny thing to text? Boom. Okay, we're gonna go with number C.
But
You
here's
text
the thing,
her.
though, at that time, though. Like nobody really gave it. Like text messages were still bullshit.
Well, right,
Like,
right,
they
but-
didn't
but
even
not only
real.
that,
You
but
know,
not only
Wasn't
that-
it more like
Yeah,
IM,
seriously.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
IM was the
But-
thing that wasn't really text message.
Like,
But
yeah,
not
yeah,
only that,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
went through this like week of, just staged research, and you send her the text, and you get the who is this? It just must have been just like a shotgun blast.
No,
Who do you think it is?
felt so good because once I immediately sent those, my boner went down. My head just.
Oh,
also,
you had that shot of like,
was
I
like
am
a-
such
I
a
was-
fucking idiot.
I was just like, I can't believe. I felt like
Boner.
so embarrassed, ashamed of my own sexual
Boner.
But you didn't even say.
feelings.
You didn't even say.
I was like, you're
Boner.
driving me wild. I said red hot boner. I said red hot boner. Over.
But
the
then what if you said,
interweb.
"Oh, this is the guy that's like basically like."
I ass
I mean,
fingered
you
you.
put any
Butthole.
specifics
I
in
ass
it,
fingered
so
you in
I-
French. I anal fingered you in French. Don't you
Yeah.
remember me?
But
And that's why I'm confused when someone says French kissing.
So finally, I'm like,
It's like you French kiss. Somebody's getting sick.
Yeah, just nothing like an ass cannon to the face. Oh, we do French kissing all the time. Oh, we just a salad. Very nice.
It's like wait a minute, wait a minute.
in your face. That's
like-
how we do it.
It's like, I played a lot of Oregon Trail in my 90s. How do you guys French kiss and not fucking die of dysentery? Just saying.
What was I saying about the Oregon Trail the other day? I was saying that the stage that we were on earlier tonight was like, trying to tap dance on the wagon on top of the
Oh
Oregon
yeah.
Trail. But so finally I'm like, you know what? I just really wanted to stick my index finger in her vagina. And I knew that to maneuver this was going to be a really, really difficult process.
Especially because you're getting her from the back.
Yeah. So
And
my
doesn't
arm
want it?
only
and
goes so
no,
far.
well that's another problem in and of itself. It's during class. You can't just
True.
swoop
Yeah, you
in like
can't
a
just,
vulture
excuse
and
me,
like
yeah,
come in
excuse
there.
me, and just
Excuse me,
peck at her
teacher.
little pussy.
I'm gonna finger this little Asian bitch. Go on with your lecture. If you hear moans of orgasmic ecstasy, Robert Hewitt.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm literally trying to physically picture it in my mind of like, do you like lean on the desk, like
then,
kind
like,
of like
slide
with
a
your
finger
elbow,
in?
your right elbow on the desk, your
okay.
hand on your thing, and then you're just like. You're trying to pretend that you're like using your knee, like you're playing with your knee, or you got your pencil twiddled in there. You might use that as a dildo, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
Make you feel like a champion when you actually get your dick
A
out.
little pensificated pussy. All right, I like this. I like this.
Well,
no, what I would
it's
do
good
is
because you can erase your mistakes.
I would kind of like do stuff. Like I would literally look like that.
Right, because
Like,
she's in front of
yeah.
you. She's sitting.
oh, so you're going side swipe. You're not going
I would
underneath.
no, I'm not going underneath. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, because if I did that, that would cross her asshole, and I know even then that the asshole was a very very weird place.
Let's be honest.
But then you're literally like,
people-
you could just like,
But
hold her up.
true.
Like
but
lift
true.
her up by her tiny little Asian ass cheek, and then just like somehow slip a middle finger, slip a middle finger inside her. It's
but-
like
but
it's
let's
a
be honest.
metaphoric middle finger too to like her parents that didn't love her
But
enough,
let's
but
be
also
honest.
like
People nowadays don't understand how to effectively wipe their asses, and I can imagine that freshmen in high school weren't as adept as people aren't now.
I'd take a freshman in high school than a middle schooler any day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a no-go zone, like the places in France. It's a no-go zone.
well, so I'm like
Especially in
lying down,
Ethiopia.
basically.
Use
I'm
their
basically
hands,
falling
you know?
asleep in a chair. And I just like
I shake
I
my
start my usual routine. She's kind of game.
Okay.
And then slowly I just move over,
Uh-huh.
and I get to like right where you can have like
The V.
the V
Okay,
part,
yeah.
the V part on the front, and then she like removes herself, and I'm like, all right, well, keep trying, and she keeps moving. So I'm like, you know what?
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Wait, did
stop.
any
Time out
part
though,
of
time
you
out
at
though.
this time realize that you were in class?
Well, not
Any
only
part,
That, not
like
only
that, you're not
I
at like a
noticed
party
it.
among
It was
drunken,
it was like a backwards
drunken
haze.
people.
Hold on.
It was
Hold
like
on.
a- like a
Hold on.
haze
Hold
that
on.
happened
Hold
in the
on.
back.
At any time did you introduce yourself? Because you're saying that you were sitting behind her, your knee touched her.
I had known her.
Three
We were kind of
classes.
friends.
3 classes later, you're trying to stick your fingers down her vagina. It's like there was never any mutual
She's just like,
introduction.
oh, this random
Hi,
hand coming
yeah,
in, I like
right?
it. You
It's
know?
like-
You guys never had this?
There was never a hey, hi, I'm Rob. We have
Yeah.
similar interests.
This was never in the school book agenda that I was given.
Right? It's just one day, oh hey, my knee touched this woman's ass. Maybe she wants to get fingered.
No, there was something about that ignited in my cock the minute that my knee had touched her butt. It was just like a spring, and I was like, oh, I'm really attracted to
I saw this in
girl
a
all of
porno.
sudden. Like,
It'll happen in real
but
life.
what happened was I kept trying to do it, and she kept moving, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be a creep. So, but I had a raging hard on, and people probably saw this whole thing going on and thinking I was a psycho too. And I just like
People
walk-
listening.
No, are
they'll
you
be
kidding
like,
me? At that age, I'm pretty sure people are like, I fucking hate that guy. He's getting in there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he's
try
he's
my
getting in
girl
there.
up here. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
Right,
again.
they tried. They're the
Yeah,
ones who
that's
get
why I said
kicked
you're a
out.
pioneer. You're
Yeah,
a
they
pioneer.
have
You're
bets,
laying the
they have bets, They're
groundwork.
exchanging money. They're like, okay, do you think Rob's gonna get it? And he's just like, oh, is he gonna go the asshole route? Or is he, okay, I got 50 on Rob. He's gonna make
And
it.
the thing
He's
is,
gonna
people
do
are
it.
sabotaging. They're asking
Exactly.
anybody who asked a question. Literally, was
like,
just
"Ah, you
drawing
fucking
attention
dick.
away from
Ah,
you.
fuck
you.
Like everyone was
I'm almost
root-
there.
Yeah, right. Then again, they were trying. They were
Trying to
blocking
skew the shit.
Yeah.
The pass. They were playing defense. They were asking questions.
They're like boxing the teacher out. It's like,
Just-
no, wait.
See, the problem is with that is
Oh, let
I'm
this
sure,
kid get something. Let this kid get a taste.
I'm sure the
Let me
guys.
get the sloppy seconds.
I'm sure the guys that actually tried to do what you did are the ones who got evicted for being sexual harassers.
But that's the thing. I'm like curious to this day to think that did she view me as a sexual harasser and she was just letting me do it?
Maybe she was too young to know what that meant.
Yeah.
Are you really that? You kind of know. Like even I knew my behavior was a little dicey.
I've
But
been-
maybe
It's a little
the
inappropriate.
thing is, there's some act of pleasure in it.
Yeah, I've been young enough in high school where I've done things with women that nowadays would be viewed as sexual harassment. But back then, they don't know what it is, and it kind of feels good, and it's just like, well, nobody else is doing this to me. So
Well, she was also kind of like a little geeky kind of girl. So
there
that
you
kinda
go.
made me feel
Play up
more
on that insecurity.
Like that was kind of shitty because I felt like I knew I was playing on something.
I've done
was
that.
there.
I've been there. I had
Like, I didn't
in
think-
high school, I had like 3 chicks that I was.
I'm not proud of any of this, by the way. Let me please make that completely understood.
Semi-sexually active, let's say, with them because they let me like touch their boobs and their butts, and I made out with them after school.
Yeah.
But that was it. I was always going after other women, which I guess is just the story of my life. I can never be satisfied with the one I'm with. I'm always looking for other
Looking
ones.
for the next best thing. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why you will be an eternal bachelor.
You
I'm-
don't
I'm-
just
I'm-
open one candy bar. You open several.
yeah.
I'm gonna be George Clooney without the fame and the money and the attractive good looks.
Exactly. And without the gorgeous women.
Well, yeah.
So
I'll just be Andrew Willis.
Oh, that's the joke. I forgot.
I just wanted
No,
to
so
Jennifer
so then I went like
Just once.
just once. Yeah.
I had my purple.
She can even like
McDonald
wake
cock.
up halfway through, and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Here, wait, Rob. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I had my purple McDonald cock, and I waltzed.
Grimace.
Slight
I
retard
had the
erection.
Grimace while it was grimacing.
The retard erection. Can we say that your cock went full retard that day?
Yeah, no, it definitely did. It had lost its mind. It didn't know
So
where it was
question.
We're talking about the music retard, like slower.
Pause. Question. Did you jack off in the stall or right in front of the urinal?
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the fact that we.
Yeah, I waddled like it was. I was like, please, can I? I mean, can
I got
everybody know-
$50.
I raised my hand. I was like, obviously.
I have to jack off.
Jerk
And then
off.
everyone, you just see money being like, "Oh, he finally did. He finally
Fucking yeah. Here you go, Billy. Here you go, Tommy. Here you go, this. Just like a shitty buggy with a fedora on and a leather jacket. Mark's leather jacket. You know that like weird.
Like the scene in
orange
fucking
one,
Indiana
yes.
Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
When she's drinking it and
Yeah.
then, like, she's about to, and she's just like, Pastore! But they're like, all right. They're like dealing the money and then she's like, wait. Un momento. And then she's like chugs it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you
so
get out of class
I get
somehow.
I'm just like waddling through. This was on like the third floor of the school, and I go into a urinal. And I
win the
unzip
bet.
my pants.
Urinal. In a urinal. You're in the view of everybody.
That was. I was just like, I need to get this fucking out. And
Were the stalls taken or were you like, fuck it?
I don't know. I was so horny.
Or you just went like
that I
just
didn't
like
even
such
think
the
about it, I don't
closest thing.
What?
You just went to the closest thing.
If you went to the closest thing, you would
It
have
would've
done
been
it.
the sink.
Yeah, would have done it in the sink or like the trash can right before.
No,
the
that
bar.
was extremely visible, guys. There was a divider separating the sink from the rest of the urinals. There were 4 urinals in a row with no divider between them. I just started jerking off. And
I'm just trying to get that visual. I'm seeing
And,
someone like just like.
did I ever tell you? Did I ever tell you that?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I tell you, like,
Just right.
man, I feel so
Standing and jerking off in front of a urinal instead of the privacy of a stall.
Yeah, but the thing is, did you remember?
Right.
Courtesy to look back, just like,
Sticking his ass out, looking around at anybody else coming in.
Yeah.
waddling into the stall.
As you continue the strokes, because you don't want to lose stroke while you move from urinal to stall as like a teacher comes in.
But the weird part about it was that I started to lose my hardness, but I was like, no, I want to finish this before.
You got to force it.
Yeah, I had to force my own orgasm in a public bathroom in a urinal at my high school.
I just have to say that's hard. Like
That was like
one
of the dirtiest things I've ever done.
No, but that is hard. No pun intended. Oh, no pun intended. But
It wasn't that hard.
Well,
though.
yeah.
Obviously, I had to
But the thing
resurrect
is,
my
when it
own
goes
cock.
down, like the thing that's hard, at least for me in high school, when it started to go down, you have no reference to go to.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like nowadays, like if I'm losing a boner, I can go to like another
you
girl
go-
that
you
I
go-
had sex with.
yeah, you go to your
you go to the
spank
you go to the yeah you go to the
Like,
insect.
you know what?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
it. I'm not gonna do it.
But like in high school, you have no reference.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You just go like
You go back to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah. Oh.
And we come full circle.
Yeah.
And on that note, I would like to say that today's quick little podcast has been brought to you by The Skipper.
Yeah,
for any-
Skipper.
for anybody out there, The Skipper is a 12-pack of Natty Ice, 2 packages of pink lemonade frozen from concentrate, and
The
half
Old
a handle
Orchard pink lemonade.
half a handle of vodka.
And all your dreams.
And
We have
all of your
all
dreams.
your dreams and all your aspirations. And I just want to say, Andrew, thank you for getting this going. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I just like to say that I'm excited that, the bifurcated way that we've done the recording seems to have worked. So it's just going to be
Yeah, hopefully
it's going to be me taking time in the editing booth to really
If
sync
you
up
need
the
help,
audio.
let me know. I can probably help you out.
Well, Fruity Loops is a wonderful program. We're not getting sponsored by it, but I got to put it out there. If anybody is any up and comer music producer, music creator, synthesizer, stuff like that, use Fruity Loops. Buy the $400 lifetime license. It's worth it. It's fantastic, and that's what I'll have to get the final copy merged together with these two audio files and get them balanced correctly.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
And so I guess we could say we're.
Well, how about we end with the cheer, with the toast?
Yeah, the toast.
I like that.
End
I
with the
like
toast.
And
So
with the toast.
well, hold on. Let's.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
We're
there
on
you
the
go.
same
So
plate.
let's.
All right, yeah. Let's
Rob,
end with the
Rob,
toast. All
lead
right.
us. We got our drinks up.
Yeah. A drink he thinks to sink into the brink. The way in which we wet our wants with nothing but a drink. The drunken drone is dreadfully too fast. We know the way in which the drunken drone drinks. The drinks will not last. So let's cheers the years with beers
and raise our proudful glass.
And in those nights we might find troubles. Let us elude them with delicate bubbles. A day to face those.
A day to face those nights.
A reason to stand up and fight. Never forget who you are, because when you look at it, you haven't drove far. Cheers, gentlemen.
Gin.
Gin.
By the way, shit's poison. All right, thank you. That's
All right,
us.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
Rob,
this is
Jim,
Rob.
Andrew.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night.
Yeah.